Welcome back, everyone. Today we're taking a quick first look at Thok the Bloodthirsty, the 11th boss in the Siege of Orgrimmar. The fight is basically a two-phase encounter, with the two phases alternating in a cycle until the boss dies. The phase changes are determined by actions your raid takes rather than simply being timed. The first phase varies a bit each time you enter it though, depending on your actions during the previous second phase. Right now you can see Thok during the first phase. He has a frontal cone attack which applies a debuff that calls for a tank switch, and he also has a tail attack. Also, each time he reaches full energy, Thok casts Deafening Screech, dealing a high amount of raid-wide damage and interrupting spellcasts. Each time he casts Deafening Screech, his energy regeneration rate increases, so the Deafening Screeches will happen more and more often until the boss leaves the phase. Thok also deals moderate damage to random raid members, and he has one final important mechanic during this phase. Each time a player drops below 50% health, they receive a debuff until they are healed over this threshold. The debuff does not do anything, but if 5 or more players with this debuff are within 10 yards of one another, Thok will exit this phase and enter phase 2. So, as we said, it is up to your raid to control exactly how long Thok stays in phase 1. When you're ready to move on, or rather when you can no longer heal through the frequency of deafening screeches, you'll want to force Thok to leave the phase. During phase 2, which is always the same throughout the fight, Thok fixates on random raid members and chases them, killing anyone who happens to be in his path. His movement speed is low at the start of the phase, but it increases as the phase goes on, so eventually outrunning him will be impossible. When this phase starts, an ad called Korkron Jailer enters the arena. This mob does not do anything other than melee, and when he dies, he drops a key that can be looted. This key can then be used to open one of the 3 cages found in the arena. Each cage contains a different friendly NPC. When this happens, Thok will fixate on that NPC, kill them, and absorb their powers, at which point he will revert back to phase 1. However, each phase 1, aside from the very first one, will be different depending on which NPC Thok has just killed. For example, if you choose to free a Colic, then Thok will gain 2 poison-based attacks during phase 1, and his other phase 1 abilities will remain the same. Once Thok senses 5 or more members below 50% health close to each other, he will once again enter phase 2, and you will have to free another NPC from a cage. Water Speaker Gorai, when killed by Thok, grants him 2 frost-based attacks. Finally, War Master Montak grants Thok 2 fire-based attacks. By the time all 3 NPCs have been freed, the boss should be dead. Thanks for watching, we hope you enjoyed our preview, and we'll see you next time.